What's good? What's happening, everybody? It's your boy Ferris Muthana, and welcome to a special edition of the post credits. The reason it's special is because you're watching it on our sports channel. Because today we're not talking about well, it's a documentary, so you can say it's a movie, but it's a documentary, so it's not a movie. We are going to be talking some media. We're going to be talking about a new documentary that just came out literally yesterday. It's on Netflix. It is called Who Killed the Montreal Expos. We're going to start doing more of these documentaries on the sports channel, trying to get, more sports content. And we saw this on, I saw this on Netflix, and I had to bring in my main man, Ryan, with me to talk about it because he knows what happened, or he may not have known what happened.
Oh, wait,
And
wait, 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 yeah.
I
I've
don't
I just watched it the same as you, Ferris. So
exactly.
we're
So
gonna we're gonna talk about it.
we're about to find out. But let's get right into it. Ryan, how are you doing, man?
Oh, I'm doing great. This is, you know, anytime we can talk about sports, like, again, I'm always up for. I
Mhm.
love we're doing this on the post credit channel as well. I mean, it's a great interaction between our channels that we have here at the Let's Get Ready Network,
Absolutely.
and it it's a documentary you have to see to fully understand the ups, the downs, the joys, the pains that was the Montreal Expos.
Nice. Well, Ryan, let's get some so Ryan, you're a slightly older gentleman than me.
Yes, sir.
Um, the
Thank you for pointing that
Expos,
out.
I didn't mean it like that. I mean like you were a young man when you
Yes, sir.
saw this going on. All right. I want to get to the point where let's talk about the year everyone talks about in the Montreal Expos history, 1994.
Oof.
How old were you? And how excited was the country of Canada for that year?
Well, I was I was a teenager at that
Yeah.
time. Um, I also was able to witness two World Series
Yes.
that were performed by the Toronto Blue Jays.
Mm-hmm.
So, the Montreal Expos were always near and dear to us Canadians. They were just never at the top, if that makes any
Mm-hmm.
sense.
Yes.
Because Toronto was a team like Montreal is always going to be the first Canadian team. Always
Yep.
will be.
1968 was awarded the team.
1968 is when they entered the Major League Baseball scene.
Mm-hmm.
Toronto wasn't for another
77, 78.
9 years. 9 years. So Montreal was always, but I wasn't born until 77, so I don't have any so that was wash.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but I know a lot of people that like family that were older that I mean Montreal was they were they were the heart blood of Canada. They were Canadian team, Canada's team
Mm-hmm.
when it came to Major League Baseball because there was obviously we all know about you know the big bad American like it is America's pastime for a reason.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
And when it first came to Canada, it was such beloved by not just the West Coast, East Coast, and all points in between
Mm-hmm.
when Montreal first was introduced. But when like from my recollection and when I was old enough to understand, I mean Toronto was in their glory days, their heyday. Like I was 16, 17 years old when they were winning World Series.
Joe Carter.
Joe Carter, I was at that game.
You were at that game. That's
I
wonderful.
was. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. No, my dad has a shadow box of all four tickets with a half of a baseball and all that stuff. So it's a keepsake for our family for a long time.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And but Montreal was still always number two.
Yeah.
Like regardless of how we felt or how they did. And 94 came along and the Blue Jays were descending, but man, were those Montreal Expos. They were ascending.
Mm-hmm.
They were it was a team that you could get behind and it was fantastic baseball to watch. we all know what happens, and we can talk about going forward or going backwards, how it all kind of come together.
Yeah,
Baseball.
because let's get right into the documentary. Let's get right to the meat and potatoes, right? They start off with timelines, right? They go back and forth, and they bring up that the history of baseball in Montreal is actually it goes actually further back than 1968. A lot of the black
Mhm.
players came up here and played in Canada in the
Yeah,
40s and the
it
50s.
it was called the Montreal Royals, I do
Yes.
believe.
Yes. So baseball in Montreal was always a thing. So I think that's why it made sense to the first Canadian team was gonna be Montreal because of the
Mhm.
history that it had. And then you move forward. Growing up, when I heard about the Expos, I knew about the Expos, right? But the way I people talked about the Expos to me was like they were Major League Baseball's farm team.
That's fair.
Every great player, or every player that went on to another team wore a Montreal Expos jersey at one point when they were young.
There, there are quite a few of them. Yes,
Randy Johnson, Pedro Martinez, Larry Walker, Marquise Grisham, Moises Alou. I think
Gary
Tim
Gary
Gary
Carter.
Carter. Yeah, Gary Carter. He's actually in a sense, Mets fans love him, but he's like a legit Montreal Expos out and
Oh,
out
oh yes,
legend. He's a legend.
100%.
Exactly. Um, Tim Raines played for them at one point. So yeah, like a lot of people played for
And
them.
Andre Dawson. Did you say Andre
Andre
Dawson?
Dawson, yes, Andre Dawson. Literally, Dennis Martinez,
Oh,
pitched for them.
we could sit here and talk all night about like
Yes,
Marquise Grissom's, Ken Hills,
yes, Ken
like
Hill.
those players. I mean, like you said, there was so many players that came through Montreal that were good.
Hmm.
That I'm not saying like that became great in Montreal and then moved on.
Yes. Well, let's get right into it, Ryan. Right. So the documentary, it's titled "Who Killed the Montreal Expos," and
Yeah,
let's get right into the culprits. Here, the
sure.
culprits are it's Claude Brochu.
Claude Brochu is
Claude
one. Yeah,
Brochu, that's one of the culprits. His limited partners,
yeah,
the Canadian limited partners.
yes, yeah.
The third entity is Jeffrey Loria and his stepson David Sampson.
Those are two others,
Two
correct?
others, and then the final is the 1994 MLB baseball strike.
No, there's still more on top of that.
Still on more on top of that. Give me a reason, Ryan. Who else did I forget?
You're forgetting the premier of Quebec at the time. I
Lucien Berchor,
Bouchard.
Bouchard.
Lucien Bouchard
Lord,
is
yes.
he is in, and basically I will say the province of Quebec. They are another culprit in leading the downfall of the Montreal Expos.
Mm-hmm.
Like I mean, it's timeline wise, I do not remember the original owner's name. It's slipping my
James
Bron
Brofman.
Bronfman or something. Yeah,
Brofman, yeah. Charles
Bronfman.
Brofman. I think it's like Charles
Yeah,
Brofman.
yes, that's correct.
Yeah.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, like he's the original. He's the OG. He's the
Yes.
original owner.
Mm-hmm.
He loved baseball, and he loved baseball in Montreal.
Yep.
And it as you see in the documentary, obviously, anytime you have first years of teams, it's hard.
Yes.
Like they played in a stadium that I don't even believe would be suitable for minor league baseball to
Yeah.
today's standards.
At one
But
part, they showed you the slow destruction of Olympic Stadium. A wall falls here. They,
that's going way past this.
yeah.
Oh no, they started in an outdoor stadium.
Yeah. Yes. 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 That's
Like
correct.
and the problem was obviously here in Canada, and the Toronto Blue Jays in 1977 experienced the same thing when they
Mhm.
came in. April, May, hey, you may get some cold, snowy days. And that's
That's what
that's just
happens.
part of it. That's
Yeah.
part of it. And so everything was fine or whatever. And then so the Bronfman there, like he was great. Like he did what he did, but then the team started losing a little bit of money
Mm-hmm.
later, like during his tenure.
Yeah.
And this is where Claude Brochu comes into play,
Yeah, because it all stems from a conversation where he says, back in the day, I would probably lose 2 to 3 million a year.
which I
And I
can
can
take, I
which
can
I can
handle.
eat. Yeah, he said which I can eat it, which is fine. But with I think it was a specific year in the 80s where everything skyrockets money wise
That's
in
correct.
America. He went from losing 2 to 3 a year to he's going to end up losing 25 to 30 million a year because they touch upon it in the documentary. They're paying out people in American dollars,
That's correct.
but their revenue is in Canadian
Yeah.
money,
Yep.
and the Canadian dollar
And
depreciated in the 80s.
well, and back then it was a dumpster fire. Like the Canadian dollar, it was I believe it was around 70, 71 cents on the dollar.
Yes, right there. It was 70. Yeah, we had to an American dollar, it was 71 cents Canadian.
Mhm.
So he's getting revenue in Canadian money because they're in
But
Canada. They're all paying
paying
Canadian, but he's paying his players and he's paying everybody in American. So
that's
the
correct.
the conversion rate, he ends up losing so much money
Oh,
in that
he's
way.
yeah, he's getting tanked very badly.
Yeah. So then he then puts the team up for sale.
Well, no, well then he asked. Yes, you are correct.
Yes.
But first, what he does is he goes to his right hand person, which is Claude Brochu,
Shoot. Yes.
and then he tasks Claude in trying to find investors to the team.
Mm-hmm.
And then so it is because he, he wanted Claude Brochu wanted to be the owner of the Expos. He just did not have the funds or the
Yes.
means to do it.
Yes.
So he had to go out and he went out and he had to find local, because that was one of the deals, is it has to be local ownership.
Mm-hmm.
So he went out and he tried to find as many local ownership groups as he can
Mm-hmm.
so that they can come in as a group and buy the Montreal Expos.
Mm-hmm.
And he was successful at doing that
Absolutely.
with getting, I believe it was, I can't remember how many it was, 12
I think it was 12
partners.
at one point. Yeah, yeah. The limited partners, like I think it was like 8 to 12, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So he was able to get enough of these local investors to all come together,
Mm-hmm.
and they were able to purchase the Montreal Expos as a
Entity.
entity,
Mm-hmm.
buying it off the original owner.
Yep. Charles.
Yes, and that's how this chat, like that's how everything started
Yes.
with the downfall of the Montreal Expos.
Right there, yeah. Because because the problem is here's where the partners ran into a problem, right? Because now they become the owner of this team. But the problem is with Major League Baseball is you need a representative. You
You
need
need
one
one.
owner to represent you in these owner meetings to say I.
Correct.
Major League Baseball approved it on the basis that it would be Claude Brochu as the I guy. He's the face, he's the leader, the guy who shows up to ownership meetings to vote. That's him. That's
That's
the guy.
because he was the one that was known in Major League Baseball
Yes.
from
Yes.
his time
They didn't
before.
know any of the other guys. In
No.
baseball, they make it very clear in this documentary, it is a club for a certain group of people.
Yep.
And they will keep that club small. And they will accept Claude Brochu to keep a team in Canada, but they won't do it with the other guys because they don't know who they are.
No.
They don't know how they do business. They don't care. They
No.
knew Brochu, and that's it. And they're like, we'll do it if Brochu is the head of the table.
That's correct.
And the limited partners said yes. They agreed to it.
They were
Brochu became the main man. And Ryan, I'm gonna be honest with you. When we get to the point of like who were we gonna put the blame on, I'm gonna be very clear. I believe I believe it's one person. I know Samson said it's a machination of things, I
Mhm.
believe certain decisions by a certain people
Okay.
is the downfall of it, right? And I think we may agree, we may disagree. It's going to be great because there's a lot of people to blame here, right?
Yeah.
Like you said, I forgot about the premier Lucien, where he basically, you know what I mean. You can blame him too. Brochu, his job was to put a winning team on the field,
Mhm.
and he bought the team in '91.
It was not 91 when this minority, like
Yes.
these investors come together.
Mm-hmm.
There was not a majority owner. They were all minority owners.
Yes.
And it just, like you said, Brochu was the one that he had major league like ties with the higher ups in that. So
Mm-hmm.
that's why Brochu was the one that was appointed, or he might have self-appointed himself. I'm not 100% sure.
Yes.
But there was only one voice per team. He was the
Mm-hmm.
voice.
Yes.
And
And
that's
his
91.
yes. And then for the next 3 years,
It was it's
yeah.
okay.
And then 94 hits. And
Mhm.
they are the best team in baseball. Brochu and his GM do their job. They make a good team and a good product because another point of the documentary where they say Brochu, his job was to put fans in the stands and he failed at it. How can you fail if the main product is great and if the fans don't show up? That's a cultural thing, not a you're not investing in the team thing. But
Well,
that's incorrect, right, Ryan? Because fans did show up.
yes, the fans showed up, and the fans showed up in droves.
Yes.
I mean, they supported. Now, let's also not forget, like, you know, like we're skipping like 1977,
Yes.
1976. They have the stadium built for the Expo, which is called Montreal, the Big O.
Hmm.
So there now they have a stadium, an
Yes.
indoor stadium.
The Olympic Stadium, yes.
That's correct. So everything is going swimmingly. Everything's going great. They have all that. So they've got the stadium. They're getting the fans
Mm-hmm.
throughout the you know 80, like the 80s or the 80s. You have good teams. You have Gary Carter. You have this. You have that. Like the 80s are just
Andre
you
Dawson.
yes, you're not. I'm not saying you're making money hand over fist, but you're still losing, but you're not losing by that much.
Yeah, you're 3 in the division. You're behind Atlanta. You're behind the Mets here and there.
That's right. That's right. But you're
Yeah.
also looking at the 80, like when Montreal turned the corner was probably the late 80s, early 90s.
Yes, with Philippe Alou.
They bring in Felipe Alou,
Yeah.
which is a wonderful choice. Probably one of the greatest coaches of all time for what we know now.
Mm-hmm.
Just a people person, a team, a city, a country. He was just absolutely perfect for that team. And they were getting good young talent coming up as well.
Yep.
And then of course, we get to the 90s. Well, the 90s, we're Montreal are they're slowly getting better, but now we're getting the rise of Toronto Blue Jays.
Mm-hmm.
So now the country focus shifts from Montreal to Toronto. Montreal had good teams during Toronto's, like, they weren't, I don't think they were quite playoffs, but they were just on the cusp.
Mm-hmm.
But yet Toronto
They
took
caught the
over.
first. Yeah, they caught the first World Series,
That's right.
and then they doubled it up again.
That's right.
So
Yeah.
you're in a sense Montreal's like my little brother got me first in a sense because they were first.
Yeah, but Montreal
Yeah.
was never, I don't think was ever in a position that, like, at that time,
Mm-hmm.
to be legitimate playoff contenders. Like that,
How
like,
did
they were
Toronto take over, Ryan? How did they take over? How did the Blues Jays show up and just take over in the early 90s, late
Toronto's
80s?
Toronto spent money.
Yes.
Montreal Expos did not, because Montreal didn't have anybody that could do it. Because they were,
Because the Toronto Blue Jays are owned by who?
I don't know who they were owned by at that time.
Mm.
I don't think Rogers was not back then. I don't know who it was at that time.
Okay.
But they also had lightning in a bottle too when it came to free agents and like 92. You had like they brought in Dave Winfield.
Their majority owners when they won the two World Series, which was what, 93, 94, correct, Ryan?
92, 93
Three. It was Labette Brewing Company.
was
Their
Toronto.
owners. They were the owners of the Toronto Blue Jays, Labette Brewing Company.
And there you go.
From
And
from
you,
from
so
76 to 95, it was Labette, and then it was Interbrew from 95 to 2000,
okay.
and then Rogers bought it in 2000 to now.
Okay. So but Labatt was also a Montreal Expo
Sponsor.
owner as well,
Yeah.
like part owner. So
Yeah.
yeah, Labatt was all over Canada's map for sure.
Yep.
So obviously we get through 92, 93, the Jays do their thing, whatever. Montreal it's a good team, it's just not quite there. But then we get to 1994. And this is where everything for the Montreal Expos shifts because they start the season, you
Mhm.
know, good young players. Uh,
Pedro, Larry
yeah.
Walker,
Oh yeah, like you had
Moises.
Marquise Grissom,
Mhm.
uh, yeah, you had Moises Alou, you had good young players, but nobody knew what they could, what 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 the floor, what the ceiling is.
Yes.
Well, then they get into the season. Well, then all of a sudden, Atlanta, that's always been
They beat him.
that's the '90s team. That's the team of
Mhm.
the '90s,
Yes.
Atlanta Braves. Atlanta's owned the the East, NL East. Montreal starts chipping, starts chipping, and then all of a sudden it's like, oh, this Montreal team, they're pretty
Pretty
good.
good. Yeah.
We got to start thinking. We got to start paying attention to this team. Well, then again, they're just clawing away, clawing away. I believe in the documentary, Alou referenced 25 games
They
where they
won
won
22 of them.
22 of them.
So the last 25, he says the last 25 games of the season, and he's like, if I remember it correctly, this is what he says. If I remember it correctly, we won 22 or 23 of those games. I'm like,
Yeah,
you
like
went you if
I believe it was 20.
you either went 23-2 or 22-3. That's insane.
Yeah, like and then all of a sudden, so this is at the end of the season because don't forget this season was shortened.
Yep.
This was at a time where the 25 games that put them
And first,
above Atlanta.
yeah.
So then all of a sudden, I think the record was 70 and 40 something.
Um,
70 49.
let's
Does that
double
sound
check.
right?
Let's double check.
Thought it was 70 and
All right. I got you.
again.
I got you right now, Ryan. I got you right now.
Mhm.
Keep talking. Yeah.
Yeah, again, like so regardless of what the record was, they were the best team in
They're 70.
baseball.
They were 74-40.
Oh,
They had the best record in baseball. The
it,
second best team in 94 were the Yankees at 70-43.
yeah. So, but from a team standpoint, like Montreal was they were hands and above better than any team in baseball.
Yep. They had a 6-game lead on Atlanta.
Yep.
The only other bigger lead was New York, which
Yeah, the
had
Yankees.
which had a 6.5-game lead on Baltimore.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I mean, Montreal was poised. They were the best team in the National League by far.
Mm-hmm.
There was I don't think there was even a doubt that they were going to at least get to the World Series.
Yep.
And this is at a time when you know they're they're you know they're gonna okay, we're gonna reap the benefits of all this revenue coming in, TV, because don't
Mm-hmm.
forget TV was a huge thing for the Montreal Expos
Yes.
that they could not get. But having a team like this was going to elevate them to that where they could sign big TV deal.
Mm-hmm.
You get your revenue from your ticket
Yes.
sales, all that stuff. And then the biggest blow ever happened. Lockout.
Strike. Yep.
Strike.
Strike happens. It's not even just a lockout, Ryan, because if
No,
it's a
it's no,
lockout,
it's not a lockout. Sorry, it's a strike.
season's canceled.
Yeah, well, so
It's a straight up strike.
it's a
They
straight up
can't.
strike. Yeah, the players aren't happy with the owners. Oh, sorry, the owners of certain teams are not happy with the way that the league is structured when it comes to
Yes.
financing, because they feel that these teams that have all kinds of money are hands and above, shoulders above what we can ever put onto the field.
Absolutely.
And so they're trying to introduce, which we all know today as the salary cap.
Yes.
And the players are like, I don't think so. Like, you're gonna so because you multi-million-dollar owners don't want to pay us major league players,
Mm-hmm.
that we're just going to sit here and say, yeah, that's fine. And they say, absolutely not.
Mm-hmm.
We want to get paid what we're worth. So then it became, like you said, that stalemate,
Yes.
that butting of heads where everybody thought, and it was in the documentary, Claude Brochu thought, this is the worst thing that can happen, but it should only be for a short term.
Yeah. He thought it was gonna be. They were
10
gonna be.
days. He thought 10
Yeah.
days.
He said. Yeah. He was like a week, and then we'll be back.
Yeah. Yeah. So he thought 10 days. Okay. We
Yeah.
get stuff worked out. We get back to playing baseball.
Mm-hmm.
It just,
It never came.
it went, no, the players were not budging. The
Mm-hmm.
owners were not budging. And it became Bud Selig come out on a cold, dark day and said,
The rumors are
I never,
true.
I never thought I'd say this, but the season's over.
Season's
There's
over.
not going to be a World Series, not going to be anything.
Yeah.
And then that just took the sales right out of Montreal.
Mm-hmm. Because then it led to
It took everything from them. It took all the revenue from the games that could have been down the stretch,
yes.
postseason,
Mm-hmm.
TV deals. Like you get in the World Series, or you have a prolonged playoff exposure. The good chance that you're going to get some
The
TV,
playoff, the
some
playoff
television deals.
revenue, you're going to be put on Fox.
100%.
You can do all of
And
that.
that's right. And that's what Brochu was banking on in 94.
Mm-hmm.
And it
Because the
just
regional,
didn't happen.
because back then the regional deals were massive, right? And
100%.
yeah, but then the strike led to another massive casualty the following year, which was, I think, the death blow for Claude Brochu.
Because there was 4 death blows.
Yes, it was the strike was the first one. I believe the strike was
Okay,
called.
strike was the first one. Okay, so the 4 death blows I'm talking about is when they come back in 1995.
Yep. So 1995. Oh, the 4 death blows. Absolutely. Brochu had to save some cash to survive, to save the team, to avoid. He says that I had to avoid bankruptcy.
Yep.
Because we were inches away from bankruptcy, so I had to get rid of $20 million.
So
I had to save, and he found it.
And there was 4 players that were due for contracts,
and he
that
got
he
rid of
knew were going to be higher
monies,
priced players.
and he got rid of them all.
Made a decision.
Yep. So he got rid of Marcus Grisham. He sent them. He got rid of Marcus Grisham.
Yeah, he went to
Sent
Atlanta.
him to Atlanta, which was a whole
that's
other
an uproar.
story.
That's an
one
outrage.
thing. That's an outrage. You don't do that. You don't send one of your best players to your arch rival,
your division rival.
That's another question. He sends Kent Hill to St. Louis.
Yep.
He doesn't re-sign Larry Walker.
Didn't even offer a contract.
He let him walk. Larry Walker ends up becoming a Colorado Rockies legend. Shout out to Adelia. Adelia, she loves Larry Walker. I think they were called those Rockies teams were called it was like They had a nickname, and like they were the Bombers, or like they were hitting
Yeah,
the,
well, there was him, there was Dante Bichette.
Dante Bichette. Was it Omar Vizquel?
Oh,
No,
no,
that wasn't
no,
Omar
no.
Vizquel.
No, the
Something.
Rockies at that time, I know it was Walker, Dante. There was I think there was a couple other big bashers. Oh, Todd
Vinny Castile and
Todd
Andres Galarraga.
I think Todd well, oh, I thought Todd oh, maybe Todd
No, no,
Helton was
no,
a little
Helton was a little later. Helton was in
later,
like
okay.
in the early 2000s, I think.
Okay, yeah, yeah, so,
Yeah,
yeah, Galarraga.
yeah. It was Andres Galarraga,
But,
Vinny Castile.
yeah,
Yeah, it was,
but, a great team, but you know what? Larry Walker
Oh, Todd Helton was in 97.
97, okay.
Yes.
But anyways, Larry Walker went on to become a batting champion,
Hmm.
an NL MVP.
Yeah.
Like, like, he should have done
The
that in a
Blake,
Montreal.
the Blake Street Bombers.
There you go.
There it is. The Blake Street Bombers.
He should have been doing that in a Montreal Expo uniform. But Claude Brochu, and I mean, this is where the business side of things
Came out.
come into play
Yes.
heavily with the Montreal Expos.
And then who's the fourth person, Ryan? I forgot who the fourth person was.
Oh yes.
It was
So you had
Hill,
Hill, Grissom, Walker.
Walker.
Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. I can't even remember. I just watched it not too long ago.
Expos trades,
In
because
nine,
it was
yeah,
three. It
94,
was
95.
uh John
Oh,
Wetland.
John Wetland. John
John Wetland.
Wetland,
They sent him to New York.
New York. That's
Sent
right.
him
Yeah,
to New York.
yes, he became. Sorry, John Wetland. Yes, sorry.
And I
Yeah,
think
he
John
was the
Wetland won
fourth.
a couple of World Series in New York.
He absolutely did.
Yes.
He closed out a couple of the games to win the
Yeah.
World Series. So, you know, so now we went from, you know, now we're talking now we so from 94 on, now it's all business.
Yeah.
That
Because
is the
because
downfall of the Expos.
because I think there was a fan who said, I expected some of them to be traded, but I expected two of them to be
Two out of
traded.
the four. Two out of the four, he
I
thought.
expected two of them to be gone.
Yeah, but
But
four is a dumpster fire. That's
when
a
four,
dumpster fire.
he said he was like a straight. It was a straight up fire sale because someone also points out I think it was Tom Verducci. The interview Tom Verducci. He says this was the prime example of fire sale because the people they got back
Yeah, it was nothing.
weren't good. Weren't good. So
No.
you trade. Well, one, you let Larry Walker walk, so you got nothing for him.
No.
So there's that. But then you trade Kent Hill, John Wetland, and Marquise Grisham, and you trade them for nothing. It was a straight fire sale to save $20 million.
That's like 100% what it was.
It saved them from bankruptcy.
Oh, it saved Claude Brochu. Yeah, absolutely.
Yes. And the team. But then it put him in the crosshairs of the
Well, so
Canadian.
what? Yeah, because so now the team they're putting out is not even good enough to bring fans in the seats.
Yes. Yeah.
So
Felipe Alou says we had a first place team, and in 1 year we had a last place team.
yeah, like
Just
so
like
you take the fans from here, way up here, to all of a sudden, okay, we're just bringing you right back. And the fans said, yeah, no, like that's not cool. That's
Yes.
not what we want. So then all of a sudden it's how do we find? So I believe that was 95. So in
Yes.
96, it's like, okay, what can we do?
Mm-hmm.
And then a light bulb went off in
Brochu.
Claude Brochu's mind. We need a new stadium.
Yes.
So they went out and they did their whatever. I'm not saying due diligence, but they found an area in Montreal that they can build the stadium on.
Yes, they did.
Claude Brochu had this model scale, which looked awesome.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie, it looked like a beautiful stadium.
He wanted to bring the stadium closer to downtown.
That's right. He wanted to showcase
Yes.
Montreal.
Because I think he said in his interview, every time you show Yankee Stadium, they show you the Bronx, they show you everything.
Yeah.
Anytime
Like he
they show
wanted
you
to show
Boston, they show you
downtown.
Boston. Yeah,
Yep.
he wants to show Montreal, and he wants to be in the center, and it's easier to get to the stadium because then they start talking about how Olympic Stadium was built in '77,
Oh,
how it's
it's falling apart.
yeah
At this point, it's
from
falling apart.
'77. That's 20
Like
19 years,
it seemed
19
like
years.
every few months, every 6 months, they're having issues with roof.
Yeah.
Whether it's a collapse, whether
Yes.
it's snow, rain, they had a chunk of concrete that dropped. Thank God
A
that
wall collapsing. So
thank God
someone said a wall collapsed at one
yeah,
point.
thank God nobody was hurt.
Yeah. I think Vladimir Guerrero, he says, imagine having a rain delay in a dome stadium.
Oh, that was Larry Walker who said
That was
that in the
Larry
doc.
Walker. Yeah, exactly. And he's like, and you realize that's the
Yeah,
dumbest
that's
statement
the
ever
but
because
here
it shouldn't be one, but it happened because that's
it
how
happens.
bad the
That's right.
stadium was.
But so here's the thing though, like so the only way Claude Brochu and in his mind how he can save the Montreal Expos is
Mhm.
this new stadium. Again, it looked beautiful in that, but what
Yes.
I don't understand is why wasn't it a dome as well?
Yes.
Toronto had the Sky Dome. In Canada, you have to be able to play in all elements.
Yes.
Like and especially in May or April, May, and even if you make it to October, there's a chance that
Snow's coming.
snow.
Snow and
So
rain.
why not eliminate all that? I don't know why it was an open field, but hey, that's neither here nor there when it comes to this.
Hmm.
So Claude Brochu introduces us saying this is what can save the Montreal Expos, and so he brings this to the partners,
Hmm.
the Labatt or however many there were,
Yeah.
presents that, and they said,
Yeah.
actually, that's actually pretty good.
Yes.
Go get it done.
Hmm.
So that's where strike one comes in with Claude Brochu. Go get
Because
it done.
yeah, and he was gonna get it done, and then
So the
all hell breaks loose because here's the thing: what happened, Ryan, is there was too many cooks in the kitchen.
I, not
But the
quite at
way
that point,
no,
but
no,
not, not
because
not quite at that point. But moving forward,
yeah,
yes, you were 100% correct.
yeah,
As of right
because
now, there's not too many cooks.
he relied on the premier because he found out that a lot of the American stadiums had public money.
So how this all plays is that yes, it's
Yes,
that from an American standpoint, there was a lot of cities that were funding new stadiums for
yes,
these teams, like Detroit, Seattle,
uh-huh,
Cleveland, Tampa. They all were getting new stadiums being helped funded by the government,
yes, the city.
the state or whatever. Yes. So everybody thought that this like oh it's going to be the same here in Canada.
Mm-hmm.
So anyways, the Claude Brochu, and he even said I had good negotiations with the Quebec premier and
The
his
city council.
party.
Yes.
Like he was very much a negotiator, like he said, like so it was a lot of back and forth, a lot of this, a lot of that. Claude Brochu then said that he believes that they had a framework in place that was going to allow excuse me this new stadium to be
Mhm.
built,
Yes.
and then the worst thing could ever happen.
The press conference from hell for Claude Brochu,
100%.
where
Lucien Bouchard
yes,
basically comes out and says,
if we can't keep hospitals open, why the hell would
why
I give money to a
to a
baseball stadium?
stadium?
Yes.
And that one or two sentences
Ended it.
basically killed
The stadium deal, in a sense.
No,
No.
Montreal Expo baseball.
Yes.
Because if that stadium was built, I guarantee you Montreal would still have a team today. I guarantee that.
Mm-hmm.
Now, do I think that I think it was dumb that I still would have done a dome if I was in Montreal. Like I don't know what the open I get the openness.
I think
It looks great.
those are first. I think you don't really trust first renders. First renders, they change. They
That's right.
changed.
Yeah.
I think someone, if the stadium was then said yes, someone would be like, "How about we put a dome on it so we can play
Yeah.
every single day?" I think someone would have said that, but it
Oh, for
just
sure.
yeah. So
No,
that
that's fine.
that I don't have a
Because
problem with.
the Sky Dome was already built, so they
Yeah.
already seen what the model with the Sky Dome was at
Yes.
that time.
Yes.
So, so basically, Bouchard says there's absolutely no money. So now,
Do you believe him? That's the question. Do we believe him? I
who
don't.
Bouchard?
I don't. Yeah.
I agree with the principle of if I have to close down hospitals and that because I'm funding this, I do not disagree with Bouchard at all.
Yeah. But do you
I mean,
believe that statement? Or is he just using that statement not to give you the money?
I,
Because how bad is your city's financial situation when hospitals are being shut down?
Montreal, Quebec was in bad times.
Okay.
So, I mean, I think there's a way they could have worked it out. I just think like Lucien Bouchard said, yeah, no, we're not even going to discuss it anymore. It's
Yeah.
done. It's off the table.
Yeah.
So then that obviously, Claude Brochu there was like, I'm done. We're
Hmm.
like, there's nothing else.
And then he started getting it from all
So then,
sides.
and then all of a sudden, all the other minority parties
Hmm.
involved with the Montreal Expos now all basically gang up on him, saying you couldn't get the job done.
Hmm.
We don't trust you anymore. You said you could get a new deal with for a stadium. You couldn't do that. We don't
Ryan,
want you.
there was something fascinating in the documentary where they're talking about that, right? But someone, I don't know which reporter pointed it out, where they said all the owners got mad because they wanted to be the person to bring the stadium
Whoosh.
to Montreal.
Okay, yeah, okay. So yeah, so that's yes, you 100%. You're correct. Like
Yes.
so any so this new stadium proposal, if it got
Yes.
accepted, every single one of the minority owners,
Want to be the face of it.
yeah, they want to be the one to get the deal done because
Hmm.
then they would be looked at as
The saviors.
the saviors of Montreal Expo baseball.
Yes. And when
So yeah,
Brochu
sorry.
didn't, yeah, and then
I'm glad
Brochu
you brought that up.
failed. Yeah, but then Brochu failed, and then they just turned on him
Yeah,
because
and
they
then
were like,
he's
he
the
became,
scapegoat.
yeah, exactly. And that's why I don't think it's Brochu's fault, because he tried to do it, and then they kind of just threw him.
No, but the one thing that we never ever learn in this documentary is how much
Yeah.
communication is there
Yeah.
between Brochu and the
And
other
the board.
minority
Yeah,
owners.
and the
Yeah,
board. Yeah.
like we never hear if there's
Well,
any communication or nothing.
we do hear from Michael Lettenberger.
Oh,
Lettenberg,
that
is that okay?
yes, yeah, lot yeah, Letzenberg or something.
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah,
he said they talked all the time. I think he said that we were always in discussion. They're always doing a press conference every week. It was like another press conference with like y'all. There's so many press conferences, like
yeah.
so many.
But it almost seemed like these owners or
They didn't
these
talk.
yeah, like they were like so. Brochu was the one that was talking, and it's like these owners didn't even know what he was talking about.
Yeah, that's why I don't believe them.
And it's
That's why I
like
don't believe
I
them.
don't I don't I again I wasn't there, so I don't know. But I don't know. Like Brochu, I know was the voice of the Expos to Major League
Mhm.
Baseball.
Yeah,
I do not know how much I'm sure there had to be communication between all the minority owners when it came to that stadium
you
because
had
it
to.
it
You
would
had to
it
legally.
would
You had to.
it would have taken all of them with X amount of millions of dollars,
Yeah.
plus what they were hoping that the Quebec government was going to put in to
Yes.
get that done. So again, I think I think they Brochu was the as I believe the term was a pinata.
Yes, and they just kept taking turns
They
whacking
just kept
him.
whacking him because he became the villain
Yes,
in Montreal or in Quebec media eyes. He was the
yes.
villain, and that's the way that these other minority owners wanted to portray him as,
Mm-hmm.
because they wanted him removed.
Yes. Ryan, let's keep it moving. Let's talk about the wrench in the plans that was thrown in when they got rid of Claude Brochu. After they get rid of Claude Brochu,
Yep, they realized, oh Christ, we still
we
need we
we
need
still need a
somebody,
stadium and we need money.
and we need somebody.
Yes, and
Hmm,
that was coming in the form of Jeffrey Loria.
hmm,
He was a New York arts dealer.
yes,
I didn't know that's where he got his money from,
yep,
selling art. So
selling art.
that's a thing.
But you weren't just getting Jeffrey Loria either.
You were gonna get his stepson, David Sampson. They came
Mm,
in and I believe so. At the end, they said they bought the share
correct.
for 412. Was it?
It was something 12 million or something.
Yeah, and but then they promised they were going to invest 70. They were
Yep,
going to
they were
invest
going to.
70. They
Yeah,
promised, and if promises are not in writing, they never happen. If promises are not in writing, they never happen. And guess what? They never did it. David Sampson, I understand why people hate his guts. And
he's
you
a,
know what? And you know it's some of it's justified. And I agree
oh
with
for
it.
sure.
But one thing I always knew about the one thing I always comes out with David Sampson is he's an arrogant SOB. He's a prick.
How,
He
how
is
how old do you think he was back in the like in that time? What, like he was in his
I
late
think
20s,
I think he
late
said he was
20s?
yeah, I think he said he was like I think 28, 30. I
Yeah,
think. He was
like just
young. Like yeah, he
just
was
just
yeah, he was
a
yeah.
snot nosed punk
Yeah.
who, oh, my stepdad is this person.
Yeah.
Like he might have had a financial background. That's fine.
Yeah.
Whatever,
So
whatever.
he worked. So what happened was Jeffrey Loria, he's a
But
stepfather. So David's on Wall Street in this
yes,
time.
that's correct.
And
That's
then
correct.
and then Loria comes up and said, "Hey David, I need to talk to you about something." He's like, "Yeah, what's
But
up? What's up,
but I
Jeff?"
bel no, I believe that was so. Samson was the person that I can't remember what his name was, who was on the one who was interviewed. He was a minority owner. He's the one that was kind of with Brochu, but he
Oh,
wasn't.
Lettenberger. It was him.
Yeah, yeah,
It was
okay,
him. Yeah,
yeah, yeah. He's the
he
one
said
that
I like
originally.
Claude. I like Claude, and I agree with Claude. But the hyenas,
Yeah,
it
yeah,
was
yeah,
eight hyenas and me,
yeah.
so I went with the hyenas.
Well, you have no friends here. That's
Yeah,
what he
he
told him.
tells
He
Claude,
told Brochu,
yeah, you're
"You have no
done. You have
friends."
no friends here. You know, which is hilarious to say because he could have said, "I'm your friend, but I'm not really your friend because I'm about to slap you around in the
Yeah, well,
public media."
exactly. Yeah, I'm
That's what he
doing
did.
what's best. I'm doing what's best for
And
me.
guess who found
He's
Jeffrey Loria?
he's the one that actually knew. I think he knew Samson.
He knew Jeff
I thought
because
he knew
Jeff.
Samson,
No, no,
and then Samson's the one that led him to Jeff.
no, no. He knew Jeff because Jeff
Oh,
was an
okay,
owner of another team. He was a minority owner. He owned a piece of a minority owning of another team.
okay,
He knew Jeff through that, and then
okay.
Jeff brought David.
Yeah, okay,
He
okay. I
said
see how that happens.
yeah
Yeah, yeah. No, I see
because
how that happens.
he
I
goes to
thought it was
Wall
the other way
Street.
around.
Yeah, no, he
I
goes
thought
to
he
Wall
said
Street.
I
And
thought he
he
said
says,
I knew the nephew of somebody. Blah blah blah.
"Oh, did he?"
I thought he said I knew the nephew of somebody who's a
Maybe
American business.
you're maybe right.
But
I
regardless,
yeah, but he knew
regardless,
them. He knew them. The
he knew
point is
them.
he knew them.
Regardless,
Yes.
and then all of a sudden, that brings in Jeffrey Loria,
Yes.
that brings in Samson.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, they all say the right things at the right time.
Yes.
Oh,
We're gonna
we're
field a competitive
we're gonna
team.
invest. We're gonna
We're
do
gonna
this. We're gonna do
invest.
this.
He says the phrase, "We're no longer going to be the farm team
Team.
for
Yep,
Major League Baseball. Which
that's
means
right.
they're going to keep their best players because at
Yep,
this point they already got rid of Pedro. Pedro's gone,
Pedro's
right?
gone.
Yeah, Pedro's gone. Pedro's in
I believe
Boston.
Pedro. I believe Pedro's gone at this point.
Yeah, Pedro's in Boston. They're just saying the right things, And then that's when the David Sampson interview happens in the documentary. And like I
Mm.
said, he's smart. I everything, but I don't think lying is his strong suit. I think he probably does lie, but I don't think he can. Like he's not a good
Well,
liar.
I think lying is a strong suit. That's the problem.
Yeah, you may be right, man. Maybe right. Because
But in the same,
he talked about how like before they bought the team, they went in, they audited the team, and they said, oh, the team's finances were like in a mess, and
oh
they
yeah.
were they were horrible, and
But for one, like they knew what they were getting into.
yeah, they were
So
he compared it to a fixer upper house. He called
the,
it a fixer upper
yeah.
franchise
Well, the bottom line is Jeffrey Loria. He had a hunger and a thirst
to want
for
to be an
being
owner.
a Major League Baseball owner.
Yes.
That's what he wanted. He wanted to be an owner. He's got deep pockets. He can do what he needs to do to become an owner. So, what's the easiest way? Oh, the Montreal Expos are looking for financial. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
so does that. That's fine. Perfect. You're minority owner with the Canadian, well, whatever the alliance is there.
Yes, they called them the Canadian. It was called. They called themselves the Limited Partners.
Limited, yeah, Canadian Limited Partners or whatever it was there. Okay, that's great. Okay, so now there's an American
Mm-hmm.
brought into the fray. That's
Yes.
fine. Okay, so we get there, and then all of a sudden, you know, we get through a year. Lord, like they promise this, they promise that, do this,
Mm-hmm.
do that. Nothing's really met. But then they come out with something I thought was like, what are we absolutely thinking and doing here?
Mm-hmm.
They come out with a rendering of a new stadium, one that was already done not many years ago.
Yes, it was basically similar.
It was the exact same.
But Ryan, I don't even think that's
So,
the. Here's the Ryan. I don't even
but
think that's the most egregious part. Let me tell
it
you
is
what
the
I
most
think.
egregious part.
No, but no, I think here's the most egregious part. They stop. They stop TV broadcasts.
They did because they felt that they weren't getting paid enough to do it.
Yeah, and
They wanted to get paid. They didn't. We want to be treated like the other 29 teams in the league.
yes,
That's what Sampson said.
that's what he said. That's why he tore up the the contract with Labette Brewing. He
That's
said,
correct.
"You said you're giving us 200 million
Wait,
over 10 years. We want a better deal."
yeah, yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And it's just it like you know, a lot of people think that this was it 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 a conspiracy. This was a conspiracy to get the Expos out of Montreal.
Hmm.
The whole Jeffrey Loria debacle.
Yeah.
I think that makes a lot of sense in the fact that like he knew damn right well the Montreal or the Quebec government was not going to give any money
Hmm.
for a new stadium, but yet he still goes ahead and presents that because that's what Major League Baseball wants you to do.
Hmm.
Because that's really the only way Montreal can stay in Montreal is if they get a new stadium. So
He
by
just
him
he
saying
just he just slowly started doing things to sabotage the stay
100%,
over the years, and you can definitely see it. Um.
because they say it right in the documentary. There's no way we can afford to do this on our own.
Hmm.
But if you've done your due diligence and your research, which you have, you donkeys,
You should
you'd
know this.
know you should know that Quebec is not going to fund this either.
Yeah.
This is just a way that they can check every single box
Yes.
and sit there and say, "Hey,
Oh,
we've
we did
done
our we
everything
did
we
our
can.
job. We did our
We've done
job.
everything we can
Yeah.
to keep this team in Montreal."
Because David Sampson points out, like, oh, before we got there, it was already toxic. Not
So then,
really. Not really. When the limited partners tell Brochu to go get a stadium, then the government says we're not giving you money for a stadium. Then they blame Brochu. Okay, you knew this. You knew
mhm,
this. You knew this ahead of hand. You slowly sabotage. Why are you getting rid of your TV contract at the moment? Yeah, just I know it's not as a big contract, and you don't like the
but
contract. That's
still,
fine.
so
But you
you,
getting rid of it. goes
You're not gonna
instead of
you're not gonna
making
you're not gonna air
you're gonna go
any.
zero. You're gonna get $0. You go from like saying like, oh, we're only getting 50 million to now zero. Take the 50 million and build from it.
It's because, well, we don't think that's fair. We want to be
Exactly.
treated. We want to be treated like the other 29 MLB teams.
Yeah. So you go from a contract
Give
that
me a
probably
break.
like, oh, I don't really like the contract to now you have no contract and you're getting no money.
That's right.
You go from some money to no money. And then they show you a clip of David Sampson back in the day where he said, and someone asked, like, so is radio broadcasts possible? It's like, oh, they're possibly possible.
Yeah, possibly.
Possibly. Then they
Yeah, I
say,
haven't.
no more broadcasts in French. So you then
Yeah,
get rid of that revenue because
give me a bunch of bullshit.
why would we broadcast in the most spoken language in the city? Why?
Meanwhile, the whole time this David Sampson, this piece of shit, pardon my French, is doing this interview. What's he wearing on his one ring, on
His
his one
World
finger?
Series ring from 2003.
Piece of garbage.
His ring from 2003.
100% wearing that proudly.
Yeah.
So what a piece of crap.
I don't understand how you go from saying like, oh, this contract's not really good to I'm gonna rip up this contract to get no money now.
No, no, and so then all of a sudden, so after all this, we put out our rendering. Everybody does renderings because that'll generate interest. You know damn right well it's not, because they already
Brochu
did
did
this
it.
once.
And Brochu, a local man who was actually speaking to the government, was then blindsided by a government press conference saying like, no, we're not giving you any money.
All
They
this is checking off boxes.
Yes.
Done
Oh,
that.
we did
Done
this. We
this.
did that.
Done this.
Because in the documentary when they show up Brian, someone points out. I don't know who said it. He said, "Oh yeah, they weren't in the business of making friends. They made enemies everywhere they went."
Yeah. Well, it's because when they come in, it was like, it's my way or it's no way. I'm a
Exactly.
dictator. I'm a dictator. You're a follower.
And then and then the final death was when it was the hostile takeover by Jeffrey Loria.
Oh yeah.
So the limited partners at one point owned 76% of the team. He owned 24%.
But that's because Loria put that
Clause.
clause in the contract that
Yes.
I
He can make cash calls is what he called it.
I'm actually shocked that if these other if these other entities didn't read through the contract and understand that, then that's shame on them.
That's what I'm saying, Ryan. So right there, Ryan, that's where I think that's the person who, like, we talk about Lucien Bouchard, and he said, no, we're not going to give any money to them, whatever. The limited partners are as culpable in the destruction. I'm blaming them because one, why didn't you pressure the government? All you guys show up to the meetings with Lucien and Claude, say we need the stadium.
Because
Why
it was only it's because Bouchard, because Claude was not dealing with Bouchard. Claude was dealing with Bouchard's
right-hand
negotiator.
man. Yeah, right-hand man or something.
And he basically said, keep your partners, don't tell your partners, keep them out of this because they have big mouths.
Yes.
And they'll go shoot shit off to the public that they don't want out there.
But now, Ryan, I'm really thinking is he told him to say that because they knew they were going to screw him over in the press conference.
That could be very possible. I mean, that's the thing. Like, this is all going to be like, that's the thing with these Montreal Expos. We can pinpoint 6, 7, 8 things.
Yes.
But
yes.
when
ultimately,
when the ultimate question is who killed the Montreal Expos?
Is Lucien Bouchard?
No.
I
don't think there is a who.
It's a what?
I think there's a they.
Yes.
Like who to me signifies one person. Who?
Mm-hmm.
I don't believe it was one person. I believe that they killed the Montreal Expos. And there's a list of people on there. And the list is
because if the limited partners don't listen to Michael Lindenberg and bring in Jeffrey Loria, then when you're in business with hyenas, they're gonna eat your face.
they're the ones that brought in Jeffrey Loria.
And he
They're the
ate their
ones,
faces.
and he basically said, "Thank you very much. I'm going to take over at some point. It might not be a year,
I'm gonna
but
get it.
and then all of a sudden, I'm going to say, I've done what I can. I'm going to go to Major
Sells
League
the
Baseball.
Montreal Expos for
I'm going to go to Major League Baseball saying, hey, I can't. I've done everything I can. I can't. I'm sell it to the freaking of all the play of anything that this team could
Major
be
League
sold to.
Baseball. Major League
They
Baseball bought
sold it to Major League. Jeffrey Lurie sold it for $120
$20 million.
million
Major League
to
Baseball
Major League Baseball.
to then buy the Florida Marlins. At that point, it was the Florida Marlins.
Yeah, well, yeah, he was. Yes, it was the Florida Marlins,
Yeah.
and then all of a sudden you find out that when this whole thing was taken, they were taking computers, they were taking desks, furniture,
Furniture.
anything. And then you hear David Sampson on his, well, it's like a divorce. Like if we say you can have this, then we get this. Like
Yeah.
piss
And then
off.
and then, and then he says, "Oh, if I I gave you the chair, but then I realized I want the chair,
Yeah, I
so I
want the
took the
chair.
chair."
Yeah, so I took the chair.
Nah,
And
he's yeah, like he's a
all this while he's wearing his fucking World Series ring, which he is I I'm sorry for my language, but he just like that man just comes off as
he's a piece of shit.
he's a piece of garbage.
Yeah, that's what he is. Him and his stepfather. Him and his
Well,
stepfather. They
we
just
we
check
all know
box.
we all know Jeffrey Lurie is a piece of garbage because what does he do every time his his Florida Marlins win a World Series? What does he do the following year?
Get rid of everybody.
He fire sales everybody.
Yeah.
And why
Well,
is that? Oh, because you want as much money in your pocket as possible. Because I'm not paying these guys.
he
I'm
he
gonna,
knew he knew about
I'm
revenue.
gonna,
He
I'm
knew
gonna
about the
reap the
revenue
benefit.
sharing. He knew he
I'm
was
gonna
gonna.
reap.
He knew he was getting $500 million in revenue sharing, and
I'm
and
gonna
he
reap benefit.
yeah,
The players are not.
exactly, pretty much. Let
And
me
that's
double check.
exactly
Let me
what
double
he did in
MLB
Montreal. Like he
owners.
promised the moon, and he delivered hell.
Yeah, sharing. How much? What's the revenue sharing for MLB owners? Because I know I know in football, it's like they get like $500,000 each. I mean, because we find out because the Green Bay Packers are publicly owned, so they have to present their taxes and their earnings.
Yeah.
So we know how much every team makes. Um, it's not telling me. It's not telling me.
No. So basically, bottom line in this from for this video.
Oh, about like 200,
Who,
$230 million.
oh, there you go. Perfect. So who killed the Montreal Expos? Again, to me, it's not who, it's
Today.
they.
Today.
And I think after like our discussion, I mean, everybody's going to have their own opinion for sure, but it's not just like to me, it's not one, it's
I
not
think I think
two,
it's
it's not
Broussard,
three.
it's Broussard, the limited partners, and Jeffrey Loria.
Well, sure, Claude Bouchard or Bouchot or whatever his name is.
Oh no, Lucien
Oh yeah, Lucien Bouchard is one.
Bouchard. Yes,
Sure,
Bouchard.
he's one. Which, but like, I mean, I think a lot of people will sit there and give him a pass.
Yeah,
I
because
won't.
because he said, "Oh, I'm gonna try to keep the hospitals open." I'm like,
Well,
it
yeah,
just
like I'm not going to close down hospitals and schools
yeah,
so I can build a stadium for people that make millions of dollars.
yeah. But
But
I
that
don't I don't
stadium,
believe I don't
that
believe him.
stadium that pays millions of dollars to these players would bring a lot of revenue to Montreal. So and so I think it's six half one dozen the other with that. Like I that is definitely a factor.
Mhm.
So I still have to put that on they killed. Like he Bouchard is still on the list of they killed the Montreal Expos.
Absolutely. And then you have the limited partners
I have
for
limited partners. I have Loria and Samson
Samson.
as I would say they're I don't even know if they're 1-2, but I think from a from an evil conniving knowing what they're doing standpoint, They come in here knowing that they were going to kill the Montreal Expos.
Mm-hmm.
They knew damn. And they might sit there, and we all know David Sampson. You could. Oh, I'm not lying. These people are going to call me like. Yeah, blah, 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 blah. There, go get your hair waxed again, you loser.
Yeah, he says, he doesn't fully absolve himself. He said, I have my part in killing them. He admits to
Oh
killing
yeah.
them.
Well, but that's fine. But I think he thinks that
It's
Montreal.
not as
Well,
big
no,
as a
no.
piece.
He already said Montreal was dead before they even got there.
Yeah. So
Which
he no, because he thinks like, oh yeah, I killed them, but it wasn't like, oh, I have like 5%. It's not, but no, but some
no,
people, no, you're like 30%, like
no.
40. You know what I mean? Just like,
I no. So we have 1, 2, 3. Claude Brochu is definitely part of that.
but what did he
It,
do that was wrong though? I guess the fire sale, that's the
the
one
fire
bad
sale
thing.
was wrong. The fire
Yeah,
sale was wrong
yeah.
because what you did there is you just took the Montreal fan base and took them right out of the game.
But is he? But I think he's probably last. He's nowhere in the top three.
No, top three. Like I would say, honestly, the strike of 1994 is number one.
Mm-hmm. Samson says that's actually, that's overblown and is not as
Eh,
true as they think it is. But I don't believe it. I generally think if they win the World Series that year, Ryan, they have a leg up in negotiations for a new stadium.
I don't even think if they win the World Series, like right now, I'm living in a country where we have the Toronto Blue Jays
Mm-hmm.
in the World Series,
Yes.
and I'm telling you, that is like that. All that feed, all the news, everything is
Mm-hmm.
all about Toronto Blue Jays. It
Yep.
would have been the exact same with the Montreal Expos,
Yep.
even if they just made the World Series. So no, don't give me that crap like that. No, that
Mhm.
if 94 was never locked out or sorry, never stricken,
Struck. Canceled.
canceled, I do believe that we're talking a totally different story.
And I think
So
Montreal gets a new stadium because in
no,
negotiation.
I'm not gonna say they. It's definitely helping
No,
getting a
exactly.
new stadium.
I think, but I think in the end they probably get it because they can. Because in
Well, I think
negotiations, they can
so.
say we're current world champions and we need a stadium of world champion caliber.
But just look at the fact, like if 94 never was canceled,
Mhm.
you would never have gotten rid of
Larry,
Walker, Grissom,
mhm.
Ken Hill,
John, yes,
John Wetland. You would have never have got rid of them because you know what? We're gonna bring this back.
gonna run it back.
We're gonna run
Gonna
it
run it
back.
back. Toronto just hit back to backs. Let's
That's
do it
right.
ourselves.
100%.
And then let's say
So
they get back to back. Ryan, that's another leg in negotiations. They get a new stadium.
yeah, then for sure.
They
So
get a new stadium guaranteed.
I mean, again, I 94 to me is number one on the list of what killed the Montreal Expos.
Mhm.
Number two is Lucien Bouchard because if it wasn't if the Quebec government give funding, Montreal would still be there as well.
Yeah, because them being secretive with Bruchot and saying keep your limited partners quiet, they talk too much.
Yeah,
I think that was I honestly, Ryan, I think that's them saying like, oh, we're about to screw this dude in this press conference
yeah.
room.
And then I would say Jeffrey Loria and
Samson.
Sampson is number three. I would say that the limited partners are number four, and then I would put Claude Brochu as number five.
Yes,
Those are
that's,
that's my five.
yeah, I agree. I agree.
Like
I
I don't
agree.
know, and that's just from watching the documentary. Like I'm sure there's lots of other inside information that we are not privy to that
Hmm.
could sway decisions, but until that is released, hey, we're not reporters here. We
Yes,
just
we're getting
we
the
just
information and we're dissecting it.
I just watch a documentary and I just assess on how I view it. I see it.
Hmm. Exactly. So yeah,
But
and then
this is fun.
they do end it on a positive note because they do clips from this time period where their council members saying, um, the Montreal Expos deserve to be back.
Sure,
Montreal
of
wants
course they're
baseball
going to
back,
say that.
and we're gonna bring it back.
Yeah,
Basically, kind of threatening Major League Baseball in a sense. But you know
basically.
what? Good, fine. Someone threatened them. I'm cool with that. I'm fine with
Oh,
that.
actually, sorry. I have one more thing I want to talk about
Yes,
Jeffrey Loria and that other piece of garbage.
yes.
the absolute worst thing that they could have done, and they didn't even tell Felipe Alou he
He's
was
fired.
fired. He found out on an airplane by his young Javier Vasquez pitcher.
Mm-hmm.
That's how he found out he was fired from the Montreal Expos.
And how did Javier Vasquez find out? Because
It was in the paper.
so he got a paper from and
It
then he
was in
brought
the
it up.
paper saying that he's being Felipe Alou is out, and then that whatever that old fossil, I can't remember what his name was.
Thornburg.
Yeah, Thornburg.
He was the bench coach for the Yankees at one,
Yes, yeah,
which is
because
funny to me because he
he
was the
because
bench coach.
he's a Laurier
Yeah,
always wanted him as a
yeah.
manager.
It was funny too. Is like he was the bench coach for a period for the Yankees that the Yankees sucked.
So you know what?
So why would you want
Yeah,
that?
exactly. Yeah, because that's what we want. But
Because we
that's
don't. Because the Yankees fans don't talk about the '80s.
no, because that is another
There's no decor.
element. That's
No
another
decor.
element of Loria um, uh, uh, taking Montreal and making it less desirable
Mhm.
by getting rid of their beloved manager. Because I'm telling you, if I would and we didn't even get talk about the lawsuit that the Canadian corporation put against Laurie and that.
Yeah, but
Didn't
it
even
was
talk about that.
yeah, but they ended up winning that lawsuit.
Oh
So
yeah. I mean, they basically, and you know what, David Sampson. If there's one thing I will take from this documentary
Jeff
that he said,
Tornberg, Jeff Tornberg.
Tornberg. If there's one thing I will say that he actually made sense in saying, is the fact that why would that all them Canadian corporations spend millions and millions and millions of dollars on lawyers? Sink that into the ball team. That's the one thing I will actually say he made sense in saying.
Yep.
But other than that, I mean, it.
It always goes to me. It's like, oh, you put so much effort in cheating. Why don't you put so much effort into studying?
Yeah, pretty much.
Exactly.
But just the way that they got, like to me, Felipe Alou there.
That was
I
that was
mean,
that was that was that was
that's
classless.
disgusting.
That was
That's
classless.
disgusting. Yeah,
That
it's
was classless.
disgusting.
And you know what? That's what pisses me off about it. David Sampson sometimes when he gets on Dan Lebershard and he talked about like, oh yeah, how I treated some of these guys, how much I love some of these guys. Yeah, but you treated other people like shit.
Yeah, 100%.
Like he loves Dan Ugla, right?
Oh,
But he shows Dan Ugla a lot of respect.
well,
So
of
why
course,
can't
because Dan Ugla helped them win a freaking championship.
yeah, exactly. But he also loves Giancarlo Stanton. Like he loves Giancarlo.
Oh,
And Giancarlo like won them nothing. Like he won them absolutely like nothing. He has an
no, but
NL MVP. He won
no,
an NL MVP to his name,
but
but
he brought eyes to Florida.
yeah, I guess whatever. But they won nothing. They get more money if they won.
No,
But
true,
but
100%.
to treat Felipe Alou that way,
It's absolutely it's
you're,
disgusting.
you're a scumbag.
Scumbag,
Have some respect.
100%.
Bring him in. If you listen, it's not even like I'm not even saying like don't fire him.
No, I
Bring
think
him bring him into the office. Say Felipe.
yeah. Even Felipe said like, you know what? I don't. Whatever. It is what it is.
Yeah.
I just don't let me find out from my young pitcher when when we're 40,000 feet in the air.
Yeah.
Like, give me a break.
That's not cool. That's not
No,
cool. But guys, thank you so much for joining us.
no, this was awesome. Hey,
This is awesome.
first baseball show.
Yeah, I know, right? We're
It's awesome.
talking ball, talking some ball. Thank you guys so much for joining us, guys. I hope you had a wonderful time. Drop it in the comments. If you watch this documentary, who do you think
100%.
killed the Montreal Expos? What's your order? Do you have an order, or do you believe it's not they, it's a who? What do you think? Drop it in the comments. We'll discuss it. Having a wonderful discussion. But Ryan, thank you so much for joining me.
Hey, thanks. This has been a blast. I appreciate it.
Hey, tell people where else they can find you on the channel.
On the post credits here, you won't find me at all.
Okay.
but
Well, that's you
but
could
over on the sister channel, the Good Friends Better Rivals.
the one we're on right now.
Oh, I thought why is the
Well, not,
post credits up here then?
yeah, because it's the show's the post credits. We're gonna put it on the sports channel.
Okay, so we're on the sports channel right now.
It's cross promotion.
See, sneaky. You don't even tell me that. Yeah. See, so
Did, but okay.
I know.
You don't listen to me, Ryan.
No, I'm
No one,
stupid.
no one listens to me.
No, I'm just a dumb Canadian.
It's all
But
right.
anyways, like I've been hitting the head too many times with hockey pucks. But
Understand?
that's where you can find me on this channel, the Playoff Beards. Myself and my friends, Mr. Rob Clark, Snark, we talk about NHL hockey. It's we're just getting into the season, so we had our preview show there a few weeks back, and probably not going to have another one until probably another month or two. But enjoy doing it, enjoy talking hockey, and it's always great when we could talk about sports, and that's what I love about this. And hey, maybe we could do another baseball show next year or whatever, and
Yep.
off we go. But
Yep.
I appreciate having the conversation with you, Ferris. Appreciate the time.
Absolutely, Ryan. All right, guys. My name is Ferris Blana. You find me here on the Good Friends Better Rivals channel, as well as the Post Credits channel, which is our sister channel. Every Friday, 5 o'clock Pacific, me and Caleb talk NFC East. That is American football, Dallas Cowboys, New York Giants. We'll be previewing Week 8. Then I'm also on the post credits. We do rewatchers councils. Wednesdays at 5 o'clock Pacific, we do MCU rewatch. And Thursdays, 3 o'clock Pacific, we do Buffy. And then Fridays, 3 o'clock Pacific, we do Angel on those channels. But also too, if you want, me and Ryan also have a special show. It's a seasonal show. It's called The Fairway, where we talk major golf tournaments. We just had one for the Ryder Cup.
It's
We
awesome.
talked about that. It's probably coming back in April for
Nice. The Masters.
Hello, friends. But on that note, thank you so much for joining us. Hope you had a wonderful time, and we'll see you guys next time. Peace out.